So here I am in Arcadia Nature Preserve. Pretty fascinating place. Let's take a deeper look.
Wetlands don't always get the spotlight like giant trees or mountain peaks, but they're just as important, especially in the fight against climate change. Earlier this year, I visited Ash Meadows near Death Valley, a desert wetland oasis. After seeing Ash Meadows in the spring in Death Valley, this is wonderful to see right in my home state. Today, well, I'm at another rare survivor, the Arcadia Marsh Nature Preserve, just south of Manistee, Michigan.
So this is Arcadia Marsh, and it's only one of 15 left in the lower peninsula by Lake Michigan. And these wetlands, they filter water and they prevent erosion, and they're habitat for a number of species.
Did you know that over 80% of Great Lakes coastal marshes, they're gone forever? But this one's been saved and it is thriving. Arcadia Marsh is one of only about 15 coastal marshes left along Lake Michigan's lower peninsula. You step onto this boardwalk near Manistee and you immediately feel the difference. The air is alive with bird calls. Red-winged blackbirds flash their crimson shoulder patches as they perch on a tree. A monarch butterfly drifts down to sip nectar from Joe Pyeweed, while a yellow and black garden spider shimmers in its web in the morning sun. You know, this isn't just scenery. It's a living system at work. Wetlands like Arcadia are some of the most productive ecosystems on the planet. They filter water, prevent shoreline erosion, and provide vital habitat for hundreds of species. But here's something many people don't realize. Wetlands are also climate superheroes.
These wetlands, they're also important carbon sinks. So when the plants die back here, the carbon is trapped in the soil, sometimes for centuries. It stores more carbon, twice the amount of forests. So this Arcadia Nature Preserve is not just beautiful, it's important for our ecosystem.
Now this marsh near Manistee is buzzing with life. More than 250 bird species have been seen here, 28 fish species, and over 200 native plants thrive here.
Definitely know you're in a marsh when you see all those cattails for as far as you can see. A lot of Joe Pyeweed, a lot of jewelweed.
And just look at these oddities. We thought at first they were like light green pine cones. But then my cousin did a Google search and we discovered that wasn't what they were. Instead, they are galls. They're abnormal growths caused by a midge fly. And that fly emits a chemical that causes the plant to grow these pine cone-shaped homes that protect the midge larva through harsh winters until it can safely emerge in the spring. Simply amazing.
So peaceful. Buzzing bees everywhere.
Arcadia is also an important pollinator habitat. Monarch butterflies, whose populations have been in steep decline, rely on wildflowers like milkweed and this Joe Pyeweed to refuel on their long migration. And busy bees, both native species and honeybees, work tirelessly from bloom to bloom. Without places like this, their numbers and our food supply would be at even greater risk. Now, birders know Arcadia is a hot spot. In addition to herons and egrets, rare sightings have included black terns, Virginia rails, sora, and least bitterns. These birds remind us that protecting wetlands isn't just about common species, it's about safeguarding the rare and vulnerable too. Now, Arcadia's survival wasn't guaranteed. Walking this boardwalk, it's hard to believe how close Arcadia came to being lost. In the early 2000s, this land was slated to become a private hunting preserve. That could have meant fences, restricted access, and the loss of a fragile ecosystem. But Brad and Jen Hopwood weren't about to let that happen. They mortgaged their home to protect 130 acres. And then friends stepped up to buy more. And eventually, the Grand Traverse Regional Land Conservancy secured the marsh permanently. You know, the hopwoods prove something powerful. You don't have to be wealthy, famous, or backed by a huge organization to make a difference. Sometimes it only takes one or two determined people willing to take a risk to set big change in motion. Arcadia Marsh is living proof. I love this boardwalk. It stretches 2.5 miles round trip, and it's completely free to explore it and fully handicap accessible. And along the way, there are benches and viewing areas designated for pausing. Maybe you're going to see some trout dart in the stream, listen to a chorus of birds, or just simply breathe and take in the scenery. Now, in the summer, some parts of the trail close during nesting season because they have to give the wildlife the space it needs. You know, for locals in Manistee County, this is a beloved retreat. For travelers, it's often a hidden gem, overlooked in favor of beaches and lighthouses, which I admit are remarkable in Manistee. But don't forget to see this. After seeing Ash Meadows this spring, a desert oasis sustained by underground springs, and now walking on Arcadia's boardwalk, you know, I'm reminded that wetlands take many forms, but their role is always the same. They're lifelines. They hold water, nurture life, and quietly store carbon to help stabilize our climate. For me, Arcadia feels like a living meditation, listening to the birds, watching the bees and monarchs, following the stream's gentle bends. It restores something in you. Walking this boardwalk just south of Manistee, it's hard to believe how close Arcadia came to being lost. Instead, it's a rare survivor. Today, it's thriving. Just look behind me. In fact, I don't know if you can see it, but there is a heron right behind me. And there's all kinds of fish in the water, and it's so peaceful. And proof that when people protect nature, nature pays us back many, many times over. And you know what this wetlands is a reminder of? It doesn't just protect wildlife. It also protects us and our style of life. Arcadia Marsh isn't just a pretty stop, it's a paradise with a purpose. And perhaps the biggest lesson is this: never, never underestimate the power of just one or two individuals in this case to make a difference. Without the hopwoods, Arcadia might not exist as we see it today. So to me, Arcadia Marsh isn't just a pretty stop, it's a paradise with a purpose. And if you'd like to see my visit to Ash Meadows, click here. And remember, adventure awaits.